Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Syntax Sorcerer. So, last video we did file I/O, reading to and from a simple text file. Now, we're going to do binary files. And again, these are going to be short examples, and then we're eventually going to get into longer examples. But for now, we're going to keep it sweet and simple. So, for this specific one, we're going to be using something called cap locks. Man, I can't type today. FileStream. So we're going to use FileStream for working with binary files, right? Binary files. And some of you are like, what are binary files? Don't worry, we'll get into that. Binary files. I wrote it. You saw it. So binary files are basically files that can store any type of data, like images, videos, even some custom data formats. So binary files can store any type of file, like images, videos, and what custom data formats, right? So anything. All right, so let's just jump right on into it. All right, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go back into main here. We're going to do string. And then we're going to do file path, because we need to lay out a path for the file. And it's just going to be example.bin for binary, right? Example.bin. So we're going to write to the binary file. And don't worry, we're going to do some real complex reading in and outs with like serialization, deserialization, and link and stuff like that, so get ready. So we're just going to do using FileStream, and then we're going to say FS, because that's kind of typical syntax. Hey, you guys already know that's my thing, right? FileStream. And then inside of FileStream, we're going to say file path, and then file mode, I want to say. Yep. And then create, file mode create. And then with that, we're going to also add file access dot write. And we're going to go over all of this stuff like we always do, because that's what we do here. So using FileStream, call it FS. We're saying it's a new file stream. That's the object, file path, file mode create, file access write. Should be very straightforward for what, if you think what it is, that's probably what it is, right? Right, maybe wrong. So we're gonna do byte data. We're gonna make a little array. Whew. Right? Man, I could not think of that word. And we're going to say, let's do something weird, right? Let's say like 0 by OX1, and then like 0 by OX2, and then 0x3, and 0x4. Something like that should be good. Yeah, I think that's fine. And we're going to say FS, we're going to say write that to data, and then 0, and then data.length. And we're going to go again, usually we step through the code. We always step through the code. So let's just finish this up. And then right here, we're going to say console.writeLine. And then we're going to say, let's just go with binary file path. Not path. Binary file written successfully. Okay. So now that we've got a write, now we need a read. We're gonna read in. Last one we kind of broke it down 2 different times, but we're just gonna kind of keep going with it, right? So now we've got our file path. So now we're gonna say right here, we're gonna go reading from a binary file. And so in our binary file, we're going to go with using FileStream. And we're going to say fs is equal to new file stream, and then inside of that, we're going to say file path, and then file mode.open. And then from there, we need file access read, which it's auto-filling for us. We'll allow that. And then now we need to fill this out. So now we're going to say byte call that data2 maybe, and then equals new byte. Oops, sorry, I am kind of out of it. I had an energy drink this morning and I am crashing. All right, so file length. So then with that, we're going to say fs.read, and then it's got to say data2 to length. And then I don't know if this needs to actually be the same as this one. I can't remember. We'll figure it out, right? We do that every time. It's okay to make mistakes, and I'm not perfect, and I'm just trying to do this for fun and code for people. So we're gonna say for each byte in B in data2, we're gonna do console write line B. All right. Let's see if I made this correctly. Yeah, binary file written, and now it's just displaying the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is just what we have here. That's pristine. Okay, and we're gonna close that down. Now, next up, give me 1 second. All right, so what are we doing here? So first off, we're using the file stream, create an array. What kind of array are we making right here? Create an array of bytes, right? These weird little things. So we're writing an array of bytes to a binary file called example.bin, and we specify the file mode as create and the access level of write. So create with the access level of write. So that's what this is saying. File mode to create this, access level of write. Bam, right? Easy. So then when we're reading in to read from the binary file, we're going to open it in read mode, read the bytes into an array, and then we print each byte to the console. So I'm going to test this real quick. We're going to do bloop, bloop, bloop. And I think this might display slightly different. It should display the same. Yep, it displays the same. Yeah. So it didn't really matter that I called it a new one. Technically, you should always call this a new one because it is technically something different from this one up here. I just was testing it to test it because, why not? But so what we're doing here is we're making an object of FileStream, calling it fs. We say, hey, hit the file path. The file path is example.bin, and then we're doing file mode open, right? Instead of file mode create, we're doing open. So it's like, hey, open this book now. And then access level is read on this one. So it can't write, but it can read. And then we're reading it into a new, data array. And we're specifying the length. That's what we're using the dot length here for. We're specifying, hey, read for the entire length of that file. So if it's got 100 things in there, it's going to read for 100. The length is going to go for 100. That is essentially, what's the word where it can expand and shrink on its own? I can't think of it. We did it for arrays, and I can't remember what it's called because my brain works in mysterious ways. Anyways, so we're saying now, hey, fsread, read the data, 0 data.length, go through that, and then the for each is just byte, it be in data, and then we're going to print out that. Super easy. Awesome. Now, if I did not explain this one well enough, yell at me in the comments, because sometimes I explain things from a point of where I already know things, and George is hiding behind my computer today. If you remember, George is my rubber ducky that I use for programming. George is hiding behind my computer today. He's mad at me. He doesn't want to sit out here and let me talk to him because he's like, I've heard this stuff before. Give me something new, buddy. But anyways, guys, super easy. And I think not next video, but maybe a few videos from now, we're going to do a nice long file IO where I'm going to basically read in from a library and we're going to do some like a little bit more complex file IO stuff, because that's where it's going to start to get like, this is just like simple real world application. I want to show you like a real world application, like maybe like a Yellow Pages or something. Maybe I'll make ChatGPT throw a fake list of different data points together, and we'll read in and read out from that. But anyways, this is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I hope you guys like it. If you do, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for stopping on by.